be a massive amount of complaining today, so if you guys are feeling sensitive, just turn the station off, turn the channel off. There's a lot of people I talk to. I train a lot of people every day. Train people from older individuals to like pro bodybuilders to whatever, right? So it's always hard to make people understand that the difference between just lifting a weight. I especially learned this when we were filming with Tate. It's like there's always these people who want to maybe one part of the motion is slow, the other part is very fast, or one's very fast and one's very slow, or like they speed up and they lock out, or they come down and they pop really hard. Like there's the tempo of the lift and the way the lift looks like we want to look elastic. It's not looking elastic in the sense that it's not like a smooth transition of like one tension to another, right? So that's the whole goal. That's what bodybuilding is. Bodybuilding is literally understanding tempo and tension. It's not about how much weight you can push and how far you can get it up. So we're not too concerned about like the top of the motion. We're more concerned about the bottom of the motion. The top ends up being what it ends up being based off of tension, right? So the perfect analogy that I thought of this, because I was training a guy the other day, it's like if you're riding a bike, if I'm riding a bicycle, and I'm literally like, anyone who's learned how to ride a bike when they're a kid, you see like the parent, they'll have training wheels so they can go as slow as they want. Nothing they do could fuck them up. They're not going to fall off the bike. But as soon as they take the training wheels off, the parent's usually behind, like holding the seat or like kind of keeping them steady and running with them, and then they kind of let go. Understanding, like teaching the kid, like you need to be going a certain amount of speed, you need to have a certain amount of tempo to be able to elicit stability. So like me and you can't get on a bike outside and try and ride the thing like slow as fuck, because we won't be able to keep balance. We'll have to keep putting our feet down, and we'll have to keep stopping. We can maybe pedal for like 10 meters or like 5 meters and then fall, like put our feet down, right? So it's just getting people to understand that tension, that idea of riding a bike is the same thing with bodybuilding. You want to get to the point where you're moving with enough pace and enough speed. Is this guy killing us with this thing right here? Let's go right. You want to move with enough tempo and enough pace that, like, obviously I don't want to be going so slow. So you hear these people they're talking to, oh, so-and-so told me this. I was always taught to be really slow on my negative and then really controlled on my push. It's like you see those people, when they're coming down, they're way too tense. When they go to push back up, they're not breathing and they're like squeezing. They're trying to flex everything instead of just push the bar up, let's say, right? Or curl the dumbbell or pull the handle, whatever it is. So that's a tempo and a timing issue. That's really what's going on in bodybuilding today. And like people who are trying to get into like bodybuilding style training or just lifting weights properly in general. There's really no need in weights and weightlifting for you to be explosive through something, unless it's like you're literally doing sport-specific training, like you're trying to get burst or like explosion through stuff, like you're a football player, I don't know, you could be a boxer, things that require dynamic, like fast movements, like very turn, like pivoting, like exploding through something or something. And it's like so guys that watch these guys who play sports, or they see these videos of guys demonstrating exercises, don't look at the guys who are the most explosive when it comes to bodybuilding. Look at the guys who are the smoothest in tempo. So when they lift, it looks effortless. And like, I want to like watch them and how they're doing stuff, how they transition out of stuff, like whether they take down a squat and they're able to sit, and then you just see that squat move up at the same pace that it did when it went down. So there's no like, you know what I mean? There's none of that going on. And these guys could be moving massive weights. They could be moving, it could be like James Hollingshead squatting like, I don't know what he squats, like 6 plates a side on a Smith machine. It's fucking massive weight. He makes it look like a plate. And there's no effort. Like there's obviously effort, don't get me wrong, but like the perceived effort, someone watching is like, well, you did that so easily, right? It's because his mechanics are sound and he understands tempo and where to lock down. He's not just taking the bar down and freaking the fuck out, you know what I mean? Like he's dominating that weight. So that's the goal when it comes, and that's the thing that a lot of you guys are missing, a lot of girls are missing as well, is that they're not understanding that tempo, they're not understanding that contraction. And that's no more evident than when it comes to girls training, when they're doing hip thrusts. So if you're doing a hip thrust, girls, I can't do a hip thrust with more than a plate on the side. If I'm using a proper hip thrust machine like in here, like I just can't do it. My fucking butt will cramp up, and my hamstrings will seize. Like, because I know how to contract my glutes, right? Like I've been keeping stuff out of there for a long time. It's an exit only point, right? So, it's like you understand how to squeeze that. Maybe girls, like there's a little entryway going in there, so they're really loose on the way down. But yeah, it's just like you're obsessed with girls as an example. You're obsessed with how many plates you can get on the side and perceiving that the more weight you can thrust up, the bigger your booty's gonna get, which is not true, because I see you chicks in here every fucking day doing it, and your butts aren't getting any bigger or any better or any rounder or any stronger. So it's just like an ego thing. Like that's the girl's ego lift, right? So, but if you understood, if you put 25 pounds on each side of the hip thrust or on a bar, if you don't have a hip thrust machine, and you elevated your hips up through higher than your knees, and almost try to tip your shoulders back to elevate your hips higher and really squeeze up through your glute and then come back down, you'd have way more development, you'd have way more contraction, because you'd elicit more tension in the muscle you're trying to train. And that's the same thing, as like, that would be the analogy of riding a bike. Like if I do the hip thrust too slow, I obviously can't get the weight up, because I can't get momentum out of my hip to rock up through the top. So I need to be moving at a certain pace to be able to rock up and rock down and rock up and rock down. You need to find that. So it's not like go really slow and then explode and then go really slow and then explode. It's like, no, finding tension when you're doing a lift, like squeaky fucking guts over here. It's kind of like I train regular people, like I said, so a lot of these guys will be like, oh, you see how so-and-so trains for this movie role, or you see how such and such trains for, like, he's in the NFL and he's a defensive tackle, or he's like whatever star NFL guy, he trains like crazy and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, but you don't need to train like that, because you're not whoever the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't know who you could be talking about, like some massive dude in the NFL who's like running a 440 and is like 260 pounds. You don't need to train like that, because you're not that dude, and you don't have any need to be that dude or do anything he does. You just want to look better, right? So connect with muscle. And it brings me to my next point, which is a completely other topic that we'll bitch about instantly right now, is getting into fucking, like, you guys and girls out there. If one more person asks me, what do you think's more beneficial, lifting heavier weights or lifting lighter weights for more reps? That question should be fucking banned from people's mouths. If you say that, you should be like hit over the head with a hammer and knocked the fuck out. Like, it has nothing to do with that. And the stupidity and like the level of like dumbed down you've made lifting at that point. Like, should I lift heavier with lighter reps or lift lighter with higher reps, or lift heavier with low reps? It's like, it's independent of each other. They don't fucking matter. And my heavy is not your heavy, your light is not my light. So it's all relative, right? Like for me to say like, oh Bassett, just go grab the 10 pounders over there and do 30 reps. But he can do 40s. But he can only do them for 5 reps. I'm like, no, go do the 10s for 40 reps. It's like, no, it's relative. I want him to keep working up towards what his perceived level of power or exertion, but I don't want to go past it or push past it without focusing on form or losing form, right? So this age-old question of like, should I do lightweight or heavier weight? It's like, guys, it's the fucking, I don't even know how to equate that to like the level of stupidity that it is. Like, I'm trying to search in my brain, but I'm literally at a loss for words right now. But to ask someone that who's an experienced lifter, and if you're asking that, I can understand a beginner asking that, like someone who's never been to the fucking gym, doesn't know that this is a bicep curl, has never seen a dumbbell before, they'd be like, what do I do? But you guys asking me this, I look at your profile pictures, and you've been to the gym. You have biceps, you have chest, you have videos of you lifting weights, and you still don't know what to do. That's fucking insane. Like, at what point do you stop becoming the student and actually learn and become the teacher and master what it is that you're doing in here? Like, you just forever learning in here? I'm not learning shit. I might see some shit here and there that like piques my interest, and I can like, oh, that's different, you know what I mean? But it's all based around the same premises. It's not like some otherworldly thing. Like, we've never done that before, you know what I mean? So it's just this fucking lightweight discussion. Like, literally get it out of your mind, guys. The goal is to progress. The goal is to progress up in load incrementally, but more importantly, the goal is to progress up in stress and getting acclimated to weight as it goes up, and to acclimate to more and more tension. More and more tension obviously could mean weight, because if something's heavier, it's obviously eliciting more tension on your body and more strain. But that's not the only way to elicit tension or strain. And if you don't know that, just fucking leave the gym. Like I can't, there's a million other fucking people on the internet who've explained that to you, and they're all right, none of them are wrong, but no one seems to get it. Like they're all asking for like, it's like they're asking the next guy to be like, please tell me what I want to hear. Please tell me that you're going to say what I think in my head, which is wrong. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, please confirm what my stupid brain is telling me to do. But it's fucking, that's madness, bro.
The same as when people ask like how many sets should we be doing?
Yeah, it's like, how the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know? Like, are you on drugs? Are you not on drugs? Do you eat? Are you like sleeping well? Are you fucking, is anything you're doing outside of lifting the weights indicative of you being on a path to like building muscle or being in shape? Because being here and just doing the work and showing up here, yes, it's half the battle, don't get me wrong. Showing up is pretty much half the battle here, but the continuance of wanting to come here and progress is what people don't understand, that it's boring and it's monotonous, and you just have to come here. And that's literally what separates, great lifters and like great bodybuilders, people who are in shape, girls or guys, other girls or guys you see with physiques you appreciate, and you're like, oh man, I wish I looked like that. Could be a random gym goer. That person is more dedicated than you. That person will come when they don't want to come, and that person will not take any excuse to get out of going to the gym. You will do all three. You'll literally be like, oh man, like it's raining. Fuck that, gym's out. Or like, you know, like I only got a quarter tank of gas. It means I have to fill up. I'm not going today. You know what I mean? Like, or like, oh, my shoes I like for the gym, they're dirty. I gotta clean them before I go. You know what I mean? Like, could be like, oh, my dog's barking. I think something's wrong with them. I'm gonna stay home. But like that's literally the difference between you having the physique or trying to attain the physique you want and not having it. Is that you will literally do anything to get out of coming here. And I personally have clients like that. And I've had, and any other trainer watching this can identify with this. I had it more so in the past, I don't have it now. I'm on in a different kind of space when it comes to training now, so that I've kind of weeded out that individual. But like, you're gonna encounter as a trainer, people that literally are only here because they're paying for your time to come here. And if you weren't with them, they would never fucking step foot in here, and you're gonna feel every minute of that session that they don't wanna be there. And then they're gonna look at you and be like, do you see me getting any results? Like, no, I don't. Like, if I'm honest, no, I don't. Like, what are you, and then they come and train with you, and they leave here, they fucking drink, they go to Starbucks, they get fucking this drink, they get a fucking sandwich, they go out to dinner that night, they have 3 drinks, they do this and this, and then they come in, like the next time they see you, and they're like, I've been on my diet, I think I've been doing pretty good. Like, I didn't do too crazy this weekend. And if you had like a video of like a fucking montage of what they've done in the last 48 hours since they've seen you, it's like food, drink, you know what I mean? So it's just getting people to understand, like, show up and understand that once you show up, you're gonna have to keep showing up, and it's gonna take a long time for results to happen. That guy or girl you see in the gym with the physique you like, or that person in the magazine you see, they're not like you, man. They're fucking at the gym no matter what. Their dog could have died that day, and they're like, well, gotta go to the gym, bro. Like, I'm in the fucking gym less than a week after I had my hip replaced. What does that tell you? I have no need to be here. I don't compete. I'm not doing anything with my physique that elicits me getting paid or like as my livelihood. I'm here because I want to be here, and that's ingrained in me, and that's not ingrained in some of you. And like, if you don't have that, don't expect to get the results that those people that have that have. You're never gonna get that. If you want to be here, it's like if you don't like filming, you have to come and film. Are you gonna be good at it? No, you're gonna be shit, because you're like, God, I just want to film and get the fuck out of here. Like, it's fucking so stupid, right? Which is probably what you're thinking half the time. Why is this guy bitching about the gym all the time?